I went to do like a splash in the corner and hooked it and ripped one of them completely like through the hole. So yeah, my poor little nipples haven't had the greatest career.
What up, everyone? Shaquille Mahjoudi here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the former WWE Universal Champion, gearing up for Tribute to the Troops on Saturday, December 17th. He is as physically strong as I am emotionally weak at the end of Train to Busan. The monster of all monsters, Braun Strowman. How's it going, man?
Man, doing awesome. What an introduction. Thank you,
Hey,
sir.
I'll take that coming from you. Thank you very much, good sir. Now, we have so much to talk about. Tribute to the troops, your return, maybe what you're going to eat afterwards, because you're a big boy. We got to get those muscles fueled. Before we do, I'd like to know, after your efforts recently leading the crowd and singing Take Me Home Country Roads, when will we see the monster of all monsters on The Masked Singer?
Man, I've been lobbying about that for a couple of years since that show
Really?
started. Yes, a little known secret. I'm not that bad of a singer. Like it's me patting myself on the back, never. Right? It's definitely something that I've talked about, and now being back on Fox Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, let's go. It's hand in hand. In all honesty, I've actually been talking. A buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, Jared Barnett. He used to travel the world with Circus Dole. He plays the electric violin. He does it freelance now. We're going to sit down with a couple other guys and record a few songs. It's something that I've wanted to do. I've
Whoa.
talked about doing for a long time, and I'm sick of manifesting these dreams in my head and sometimes pushing them off to the side. It's starting to check these bucket list things off. I'm not getting any younger, so you know what? Let's take a shot in the dark. You never know
Go
what
for it.
happens.
I love that, bro. That's so cool to hear. And shout out to fellow Cirque du Soleil enthusiast, Karrion Cross. I know he's big on that. Tribute to the troops we have coming up. Obviously, you guys have already filmed that. Tell me a little bit about what that experience was like for you.
Oh, man, it's such an honor to be able to go out and do that. You know, at the end of the day, without our men and women, our troops that go out and do what they do, putting their lives on the line, sacrificing the time with their families and their loved ones, we don't get to do what we do. They protect us. They give us our freedoms as United States citizens. There is no Braun Strowman. There is no WWE without our men and women going out there and do what they do. So it's such an unbelievable honor to be able to represent them and put on a show specifically for them. I mean, you know, the mindset is the exact same all the way across the board with everyone in the back. It's such an honor to do it. You know, traveling around, meeting the troops, going to the bases, doing the things, the meet and greets. It's such a humbling experience because, you know, as much as they look at us and think that we're superheroes, we're just pretend superheroes on TV. They're real superheroes and things like that. So it's such an honor to be able to see that, give back to that community, and you know, have fun. Because at the end of the day, I mean, as much as everybody's heard it, what we do at WWE is our job is to put smiles on people's faces, and any opportunity that I get to go out there and do that, it's an absolute honor.
I love to hear that, Braun. I think now let's be honest. I think often criticism comes from sort of like the vocal minority of the fan base, but there is this small pocket of people who, when they see a big guy like you, they think, "Oh, he was handed an opportunity." And to that, I'd counter, well, maybe there, is a role that Braun can play that not many people can. You don't win that many gold medals in strongman. You don't come back to the WWE this shredded without putting in the time and effort. And let's not forget about the kip up. If we kind of pan through the filth and try to find some gold in that, what are some of the pressures or motivations for you as a big man to perform in an industry that is kind of always trending towards a more dynamic, smaller performer these days?
You know, at the end of the day, I've said this a few times. A lot of it comes out of the question of who could I wrestle if I could wrestle anyone of all time, and it's the same answer every time. It's Andre the Giant.
Mm.
Andre the Giant is sports entertainment. He is the reason why this industry is what it is, and it's world renowned. It's a global entity. Like when you talk WWE, you cannot mention this company without saying Andre the Giant. So from him to Big Show to Kane to Undertaker to Mark Henry to all these other giant men that have come and gone in this business, I'm one of the very last few of a dying breed of these dinosaurs that I like to call it. So in my mind, I'm carrying on a tradition and a legacy that is fading. And as much as that hurts my heart, because of that exact same thing, what you just talked about, this stereotype of being this bigger guy, that I've had things handed to me in life, or that I fee, fi, fo, fum my way through life, grinding up people's kids to make my bread. There's more to it than that. Like, I look like this big, imposing, scary monster. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a passionate, caring, loving, articulate human being. And I want to be able to not only portray that, the aspect of the monster side of things, but I want to show the world that there's more than meets the eye. Don't judge a book by its cover. Like, so many people are, not just with big people, but any walk of life. So people are so quick when they get a glance at someone that they automatically have this stereotypical opinion of what this person's going to be. And I love the opportunity to break these stereotypes and show the world that there's more to me than meets the eye. But then again, at the same thing on the competing and the performing side of it, I like being able to go out there and do stuff as a big man that no one's ever seen before. Because, again, here we go with me. I don't pat myself on the back very often, but there's no one else like me on earth. And I'm a firm believer of that, because if there was, they'd have found him already.
If my memory is holding up, the Big Show once told me that he has in fact performed a moonsault early in his career. There's just no tape that exists. So I look forward to seeing some of the stuff that Braun's
I always joke around it. I can do one, not a problem, but it's not a matter of being able to do it. It's a matter of doing it at the right time.
Certainly. Yeah. Well, I would hate to be on the receiving end of that one.
Oh yeah, there ain't no way. There's no way I would lay there and let my fat butt jump off the top rope onto
me. Last time we talked, one of the things that really stuck out to me was sort of how, I mean, basically from the word go, you're out on the road performing in major spots, traveling the world in front of big audiences. And it was really a chance for you after the release to kind of just take a step back and sort of explore and take in all the stuff that had been missing during that time performing. The quote I got here is from you: "I forgot about all these little things in life that mean so much. Time flies by and you forget about it. You don't get a chance to do it, so I'm catching up on spending time with my family and loved ones." What are some of the things, both professionally and personally, that you take with you from that time off you had, and has sort of refreshed your perspective on the second run with the WWE?
Don't forget the little things. I mean, it's as simple as that. I'm trying to think of the analogy to use for it, but they're like the example that a professor I saw one time give on TV somewhere, where he takes this glass, and you got a glass this big. Well, he starts throwing in tennis balls, and he's like, "This is when you get your driver's license. This is when you graduate from college. This is when you get these bigger moments." And then all of a sudden, this glass is completely full. Well, then, like, now you can throw in a little bit of this, a little bit of that, of these other things, but then you really forget about the little things in life. And then he pours water into it. He's like, look how much more you can fill your life full when you remember these little things. And it's just exactly that. Like I said, like just yesterday as an example, like being able to go out and raise the money, go out and purchase canned goods and toys for the less fortunate. It's things like that, taking the time. Like a big thing for me is reconnecting my relationship with God. And that's sort of, it's a thing, like I'm a religious person, and that's something that I faded away from, and something that I've found and that I realize that helps keep me grounded and helps me with the mental anguish and some of the problems that I go through, is having that, that higher power of something to lean on when you're having a bad day. Because at the end of the day, we all have bad days, and it's realizing that the world's going to keep turning. It wants you here, and you're here for a reason. Your shot of being born is what, 1 in 40 million? It's a blessing. And so many people forget that, myself included. Like, I've been so many times in life where I forgot how much of a blessing it is that I'm here, and I'm worrying about all this bull crap that really doesn't matter. And if I could say anything to take out of all of it, the thing that I'm trying to learn and that I'm bringing with me is control and care about the things that matter that you can. The other stuff, it doesn't matter. That's what it's, you talk about filtering through some of the filth on the internet and things like that. I literally had a conversation with Triple H about this a week ago, because I was in a little bit of a mental funk one day, and like, he's always so positive, always so chipper, always so smiling, excited. And I went to him, I was like, H, how do you do this? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, how do you keep such a positive mindset and balance all this stuff in life? I was like, I'm nowhere near as busy as you. And I was like, you have this all together and it's all hit. He goes, Braun, you think I have this all under control? He's like, dude, I'll tell you the biggest piece of advice that I've ever gotten in my life. He's like, control the stuff that you can and don't worry about the rest of it.
Man, this is why I always like talking to Braun Strowman. We got to do it again because there's still so much I want to get to. As we begin to wrap up here, you mentioned Triple H. I put out a fan Q&A, get some fan involvement, and one of the things that kind of piqued my interest is towards the conclusion of Survivor Series in 2017, there was a bit of a dust-up between you and Triple H. It continued the next night on Monday Night Raw, but we didn't really see where it was meant to go. What were the plans long-term for you and Triple H? Was there
in all honesty, I have no idea. Which is usually par for the case of most of the stuff that I do. Like I said, I show up to work, they hand me a script, I go out there and I do the best that I possibly can. Because at the end of the day, we all play a part in the play. And
fair enough. What can you do? I will say I like the product I've been seeing the last few months. Seems like there's more structure and direction and thoughtfulness that I'm really enjoying as a consumer. During that time away, shout out to EC3, shout out to Karrion Kross. The three of you were working on Control Your Narrative. What were some of like the and there's actually a lot of fan interest about this one. What were some of the long-term plans for it that, unfortunately didn't materialize because you and Kross made your way back to the WWE?
The biggest thing was another avenue for people to go and do what they love. It was all financed by me and EC3. All the money that we ever made, which wasn't much, we put right back into the company. I was a firm believer of making sure if you wrestled on one of our shows that you got paid, because this industry is so cutthroat. A lot of stuff of this pay your dues BS that everybody wants to say, and that paying your dues is lining some promoter's pocket on your hopes and dreams and broken back, which I get it. I mean, that's business. But I wanted to give an avenue for people to do what they love, hone their craft, be able to make some money, travel around, and have fun. At the end of the day, this should be the absolute most fun job you could ever have on earth. We get to travel around the world and fight with our friends, make money doing it. And how can you not? It's every 5-year-old's dream. And it was just an opportunity to try and help others live theirs. And unfortunately, like I said, it's something that I still own CYN. EC3 still doing some of it. So who knows what's going to happen down in the future. But right now, I'm so blessed to be back home. I love the WWE. I love the WWE universe. I've said this time and time again. I'm a firm believer that God put me on this earth to do this. I'm back where I belong. I'm home. It's good to be back. And I can't wait to keep making memories for the fans for many more years.
Dang, what a sentiment to end on. And I had so many rapid fire questions I wanted to get to. We'll save them for next time. But again, weird fan curiosity. I do want to give the people what they asked for. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did the nipple piercings hurt?
Honestly, they weren't that bad when I got them done the first time. I've had them done for like a decade now. Day 2 after I got them done, I remember opening a cabinet and hooking it and tearing it. So that sucked. And then another time when I was first learning how to wrestle in developmental, I went to do like a splash in the corner and hooked it and ripped one of them completely like through the hole. So yeah, my poor little nipples haven't had the greatest career.
I'm actually glad I asked the question. I do want to leave you with the last word since you're so great at capping these things off. I'll just do my part very quickly. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. If you're still here, you know what you got to do. Subscribe, tap the notification bell, thumbs up. Let us know in the comments. What do you want to see for Braun Strowman in the year 2023? World title, Royal Rumbles, Money in the Bank. There's so much to dig into. Full feature with Braun Strowman in the description for CBSSports.com. Braun, I had a tribute to the troops or anything else you'd like to discuss. The floor is yours, my man.
Man, I just want to say thank you. It's good to be back. Thank you for everyone that's tuning and watching this. Thank you for the support. Thanks for the negativity, whatever. As long as you're making noise, that means I'm doing my job. At the end of the day, I love it. I'm an entertainer. I was put on this earth to do this. I'm having fun. It's good to be back. I ain't going anywhere for a while, so you're going to have to see this mug on your TV for quite some time. And if you've got a problem with it, you can get these hands like anybody else.